Hello, people. We've made it to Friday again. It's the 24th of January. Cheers, cheers, cheers. So, what I want to share today is the same as every day. A little bit of what I'm listening to and what's on my mind. And I'll start here. So, just finished up watching a 4-part special on Britpop. Now, I really have not been one to follow trends. I end up finding out what is trending and that's good in it. So I was not interested in Britpop, although I was buying that music, whatever I thought was good. The last trend that I think, when the whole phenomenon of punk rock happened in the late 70s, it's not that I followed that trend. I could tell that something had changed. So that's, I guess, the last trend that I really sort of followed. But interesting, watching the 4 parts. I'm almost done with the 4th part. Knew about all those bands. Interesting. In context of Oasis's popularity and the way that they would use Beatlesy things in their songs, that was the first time that really came into clarity, because I have some Oasis singles. I never rated them much, kind of ploddy, and their braggadocio meant nothing to me. But interestingly, it was interesting to find out that one of the other biggest bands, sale-wise, of that time in the 90s was Ocean Color Scene, who I happened to see on the bottom of the bill with The House of Love and Catherine Wheel. And again, it just, to me, is illustrative of what I see about popular culture and about people, which is mediocrity is the massage. It's where everything is. Because there was Ocean Color Scene couldn't hold a candle to either House of Love or Catherine Wheel. Song-wise, as a band, they were good, but their songs were shit. That's my opinion. If you like Ocean Color Scene, don't be fucking offended. Your name isn't Dereck. I enjoy documentaries. So I caught this morning the trailer for Questlove, who I've met and got to talk about record collecting with him when I did. I see the trailer for his upcoming biopic on Sly and Sly and the Family Stone. I'm glad that's happening. Sly is a genius. He is a casualty of the drugs, unfortunately. I'm so glad I basically escaped that. You know what I mean? It's like I have damage, but I'm still here, fairly intact. But I look forward to seeing that. Summer of Soul was well done. Questlove was part of that. But never got to see Sly and the Family Stone. I've seen several members, not Sly. I saw members of Sly and the Family Stone with Prince, and I saw the drummer Greg Errico with Weather Report. So I've seen that much. But for me, Sly and the Family Stone records are staples. They are essential. Entries into the book of modern music. They were massively popular. They broke down barriers in many ways. Sly was a top-notch producer even before people knew who he was. So I don't know how many copies of this album have been through my family. I remember, if you see this, Stephanie, did you have a copy of this first, or was it James? Because I didn't for a while. This is important. This is an important album. What they're saying and how they're playing. Groundbreaking. Here's is this UK? Here's a UK pressing of their album Dance to the Music with a different cover than what you would see in America. And the music was, this is an example of a band firing on all four cylinders like a car, where every member is dynamic, hitting you hard, and tighter than shit. I loved the mixed race aspect of the band. It was so encouraging to see and hear. This is beat to shit, but I got the greatest hits. Obviously got it at a thrift store way after the fact. But these are truly great hits. Now, I, for one, still maintain, and I have people disagree with me, and I don't care. There must be some misunderstanding by Genesis. Genesis, Phil Collins says he got it from thinking about the Beach Boys. But Hot Fun in the Summertime by Sly and the Family Stone has the very same climbing riff as Misunderstanding. And it hasn't been acknowledged. It's not about money or anything. It's just, can't y'all hear that? Misunderstanding by Genesis is very, very similar to Hot Fun in the Summertime by Sly and the Family Stone. And that is a killer song, Sly and the Family Stone. Genesis song was okay. And then, of course, there's a riot going on where it is audible. The damage, the cocaine damage to Sly already is all over this album. And yet still, the genius of his writing comes through. It's a fantastic album. Will I play some Sly today? I sure will. So that's something I don't get. I don't pay for channels. I just pay for my cable service, to get the internet. So I won't be ordering it on Hulu or no shit like that. I'll just wait till I can see it, because everything becomes available eventually. Cheers, people. I'll say this. When I give my thoughts about the world in general, I'm not asking for negative energy, okay? So I'm not going to be gaslighted by the folks that do that by holding my tongue. I'll share my opinion if and when I feel like it, okay, about current events. I feel one coming on before the end of the video. So some music that has been played yesterday, besides me working, because I am working, I got more up my sleeve musically. This is a great, great, great pop band. Pop is the word. They are a pop band, and they are one of the greatest. XTC. And what a beautiful cover. None Such. They were... Colin Moulding and Andy Partridge were, I think, really well matched. Dave Gregory, as a musician, was very important too. But the competition between Andy and Colin made them greater because they're both great songwriters. And I know that it burned Andy Partridge that Colin got their first hit because he saw himself as the protagonist of the group. This is just great. And I do pay attention to lyrics, but that's not my focal point. It isn't. I just really understand. And as I was watching the thing on Britpop, I was seeing where a big part of the popularity of songs is the words, and I just don't give a fuck about most of those words. I just don't. I don't. Does it make a difference when the lyrics finally come into focus for me? Yes, to a certain degree, but overall, I'm admitting it. People disappoint me, so I don't give a shit what you have to say. Do you understand what I mean when I said that? I think some of you do, and some of you don't. You'll just, I don't care. And that's important, to be okay with who you are. So yesterday, this was the highlight play of the day. Well, actually, there was two. So if you see this, Guy Siggers, I'm going to talk about you again, but I can't completely stay away from looking at news, or what they call the news, worldwide. And I watch worldwide, and I see what the world thinks of America and Trump. And they're right in line with what I'm thinking. It's like, what a disaster. You know, we have all these fools all over the world, totally taking advantage of their governments, and now, even more so, now it's happening in America, and people are saying, hooray, making America great again, while we're sliding further and further into the shitter. What the fuck? So I needed some calming, deep, important music for the day. And this was it. Mahavishnu John McLaughlin, My Goals Beyond. In particular, side 2, the two tracks called Piece 1 and Piece 2. You had to play it twice. I've corresponded with John McLaughlin. I didn't get to meet him, but I wrote him an email, and he wrote back. It was a quick little blurb, but apparently what I said let him know that I was okay. Seen him in concert twice, yeah. If you don't know this album, My Goals Beyond, this is magnificent. It's incredibly heartfelt and spiritual. Killer. I actually played the album, and then I played the CD, kind of doing an A-B with it. This came out through Rykodisc quite a long time ago. I'm glad I got my old CD player back in here, but I still like playing records. I do. I just like to drop that needle. I do. I don't have much else here to show except a couple of CDs. So I listened to some Mulgrew Miller yesterday. Pianist, Getting to Know You. And this is graceful. It's not fire. This is like, you could even use this music in a romantic setting, quite a few of these. But his piano playing is graceful, and I like the way he says things. You know, when you solo, you're talking to us. This is good. I got a couple of his albums. Mulgrew Miller, Getting to Know You. I have to use my peepers here to look at the Kareem Riggins on drums, Big Black on congas. Cool. Very cool. And Richie Goods on bass. Big Black. A name that we associate with Steve Albini, but Big Black was a percussionist back in the 60s, a black man. The other things that got played yesterday, not a whole lot of this, but I played a little bit of Gal Costa, Brazilian singer. Minha Voz, Minha Vida. This is one where I got on sale. You still have the sticker on the back of it. I didn't pay $9.99 for it. I probably paid $1 for it. Beautiful. Her voice is like, you can talk about, want to fall in love with somebody just by hearing their voice. Gal Costa could do that to me. But it's just beautiful. I didn't listen to the whole record. I just love Brazilian music. So officially, this came out today. The official release date for the Eclectic Maybe Band is today. I listened to some more of this all the way through yesterday because this is fucking killer. Gee, if you see this, I'm not saying this is the best thing you've done since Universe Zero. I'm just saying this is just right on time. This has, and see, the thing is, you gotta stay with it, because when I got to track 7, I love track 7, which is called Ordinary Undercover Radar. We're getting that syncopated prog rock in opposition type of playing and arrangement, where it's kind of tricky, keeps you listening, and it just keeps going. There's a couple of vocal tracks on here in different languages. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, people. I know that's it's life. But I just want to just keep congrats to Guy for continuing to evolve his music and his bass playing. He's a heck of a bass player. There's some bass playing on here. It's like, damn, Guy, that's nimble. So I want to congratulate Guy and Discus Music, Martin Archer, for continuing to be on top of excellent music and getting it out there. Pick this up, okay? So that's honestly what I have to show. Almost done with my first cup of coffee. I'm just keeping my eye on on events. I can't imagining. It's hard to imagine that we're going to endure 4 years of this madness, because things aren't going well, and he's not making America great again, and he's already doing things unconstitutional. And to think that there are people who are so disconnected from reality and full of hate and something else wrong with him, that they're applauding him. I gotta say it, it's like demons have taken over the church and the country. The fact that the Bishop Marion, who did her job, is being criticized, and people are siding with someone who is a rapist, liar, racist, convicted felon, and they're believing him. Something's funny with the water, y'all. It ain't right. So I'm saying, I'll speak my mind, and of course, it's very likely that someone not thinking well will leave a very stupid, hateful comment just because I'm sharing my thoughts. That says a lot about them and a lot about Trump and what's going on in this country, and it ain't good. And I don't have to be quiet about it. I'm not going to. I'm not going to be gaslighted by unintelligent, hateful, ignorant people. I'm not. And you shouldn't be either. So, let me get off of here and go see what Mr. Michael P. Dawson is showing on Friday, because that's his day. Have a good weekend.